6 p.m. Salutations, class, and welcome back. Tonight we'll be playing an old favorite of ours, Dead Cells, which we haven't taken too much care of throughout the course of this year. This is a game we started about a year ago, and we've had a few playthroughs here and there, usually for about a month of a time span at a time. And as you all know, this is my favorite game of all time, forever. Until I design something that fulfills its role for me a little bit better. Where we last left off, we've only recently gotten to 5 BC, and I believe the last time we played this was back in March, so it's been about 5 months, and there's a lot of updates for us to explore in that time. As well, once we get a larger viewership in here, I'll open up the streamer mode if you guys are interested. But let's hop to it immediately. So recently we've had... Oh, I am taking up a lot of screen real estate. Let me fix that. A little bit too much. So the bank was the previous update, and we actually just now recently had the Panchaku update, a smaller one. Gives us a frying pan nunchuck, which people have been missing forever. The giant. Alright. So, we've recently unlocked 5 BC, infamously the hardest difficulty. I see a pretty easy choice to make at the beginning here. Oh, do tell. We have a bonus damage versus frozen targets on our hammer here, which compounds with its critical hit condition. If we can get an ice shield, or anything that would also have a freeze on parry condition, then we have ourselves a very successful combination. Otherwise, just about every weapon we have here is survival based, which is my absolute favorite color to play with. On top of the hammer being one of my absolute favorite weapons. Since we're being directed towards the giant, I don't think we're going to need that grenade since we won't know what else we'll be looking for. Hammer goes great in conjunction with any shield, as every shield except for one of them will stun the opponent after you slam them, or get a proper parry off, and then you slam them. The hammer deals bonus damage to anyone who's currently under some sort of movement impairment. Ah, glad to see you, Kayla. I hope you're doing well for yourself today. As much as I love the Mushroom Boy, he is a liability, so we will not be using him. His ability to make enemies flinch tends to mess with a lot of our attempts to parry. And missing a parry in this game is a death sentence. So, the room here is supposed to be a joke referencing one of the trailers here. If we were running a brutality build, I'd switch to the Panchaku immediately. That's in reference to the Bad Seed DLC trailer. Oh, what do we got here? A bug? There's a small bug in this jar. Something feels off, as if the bug was a potent weapon of sorts. Probably nothing. Ah, it's a reference to Soul Knight, I believe, which was another game they decided to collaborate with and have some crossover items between them. The ice grenade will be very, very useful for getting a lot of enemies stopped at once. Hopefully, we can get something like a crusher or just any other potent crowd control weapon for our second skill slot. You'll see how easily we cleared out those enemies because they were frozen. We'll wait to come back to that guy after we have our ice grenade replenished. Heading off over here that we didn't get to see before. Generally just a good idea to drop that in the middle of a crowd. Since we have a bonus damage versus frozen targets effect on our hammer, ideally, whatever second skill we get is also something that can freeze. Better yet, we want an ice shield, or even a different shield with the freezes enemies blocked with a parry effect. And that's actually worth doing a refresh at the beginning here. Frost Blast is a no. Bonus damage versus even a slowed down target. And it is a 6 rather than a 4, so even though it's basically the same weapon, that's worth making the upgrade. It will deal bonus damage versus frozen enemies and then still have a smaller amount of bonus damage when they're slowed down after the fact. So even if we don't get the initial one-shot KO, we'll still have a little bit of bonus damage against them afterwards. That also gives us a bit of synergy if we find a crusher item, which is generally what could make this build work really, really well. Crusher being one of the most powerful weapons in the game. I like the Face Flask, but we do not have a build that works with it. We will go back over here and sell this cherry, since we have to make up for a bit of the gold that we just spent on our new hammer here. Sell that. And I'm not sure it matters which direction we go. Let's see, the newest DLC takes over for the last area, so it doesn't matter where we had before then. Toxic Sewers is probably a better idea. This one usually has the most upgrades for us to go along with this route. And it looks like we perfected that entire first area. No useful skill for us. This is the one shield in the game which does not inflict stun. So nothing there except for a little bit of money. But we do have quite a few things we can buy. A stun grenade would actually be an excellent supplement to our build. Other than that, I guess there's not really much harm in just, we can go ahead and fill up any of these, and we'll be trying out the weapons as we go along. We will not upgrade that. It's probably not going to get any better. We will upgrade that shield. Heart of Ice probably works best because that works in conjunction with the critical hit effect on our hammer. And welcome, James. We missed you last night. I wish I had a bit of an advance warning because we did actually complete the game last night. Oh well, that just means you and Aaron are 1-1 now. You got to see the end of the regular game, and he got to see the end of the DLC. Why is vibration turned on? I never play with vibration. Now, I have tried to practice a little bit of this earlier, and I think if I just play the game a little bit more patiently, I should be a lot better at it. I've been trying to play this game occasionally off-stream, and I've been having a lot of trouble keeping up, even though they allegedly made the difficulty scaling a lot better. Not a bad idea at all. But you know what? I think I'll double down on the crowd control. Roll through here. And yeah, just need to make sure we cleaned up a few of the enemies. What's different about the 5 boss cell difficulty is you're kind of obligated to speedrun. It's mostly the same as the regular 4BC difficulty. However, you do see that orange meter building up at the bottom, which fills up slowly over time. It fills up faster the more enemies you have still alive. Come here. Yeah, those are gonna come back. Smash those. See if we can drop in with the stun. And there we go. It really feels like our frontline shield didn't re-roll its effects when we upgraded it. I wonder if that's something that happened in a patch. It might be worth a shot testing that with our hammer. After all, we're not going to be using it forever. The quick immediate area of effect from the grenades is also useful, given that we'll have some trouble hitting a lot of the smaller, swifter enemies. Almost forgot how much I loved that thing. And yeah, Heart of Ice is definitely the best thing to combine with it for now. With both of our skills synergizing for getting that bonus cooldown, we can have them ready almost all the time. We are in trouble. Run over here, pop a potion. They'll probably... yeah. They're right behind us. One elite taken care of. That was an accidental parry, but we'll take it. One thing I haven't really gotten into the proper habit of is using my potions, and basically all of them. We are given proper refills pretty frequently, so making sure I keep pace with it would be our best option. 50% extra damage for 6 seconds after a successful parry. That might even be the best shield for us to pair with this. Lets us get huge damage on a parry. And we're back on low health again. I'll see if we can get through the next area with a curse. Another thing, the AI of those flying enemies can sometimes land behind you or try to fly directly overhead. Not that they intentionally do that, they wait until they get close, and then they'll start an attack. But sometimes they'll just end up drifting into an area that you can't reliably hit with a survival weapon. So that's exactly what we gotta watch out for. Come on. As always, we'll basically spec into survival over and over again. A few of the last time, or... hold on. A few of the last times we played, we tried dual stat builds because of the legendary weapon mechanics. One of the recent things they have overhauled with the game is now legendary weapons, instead of scaling with 2 stats, have a specific guaranteed effect, which synergizes very well with what they do. Is that the whole area mapped out? No, it is not. There's still probably another scroll around there. We'll look out for it. Anytime there's one enemy, we can afford a little bit of patience. Ooh, nicely done. And another scroll, which will not let us do survival. So we'll use that to boost our second stat, and that pretty much gets us over that initial first hill of not having nearly enough health. You'll see how close we've come to death so far. Nothing in there, that's weird. A fun weapon. Let's actually go ahead and give it a try once we have a, well, less perfect build. Because right now, everything we have synergizes perfectly, which is kind of a rare find. Aha! A defensive option. You know what? I'll take it. This way, whenever we see a very large crowd, we can get ourselves a little bit of extra protection. Now, where we'll be going is the corrupted prison over here, because we want to roll for that one mutation, which restores our health whenever we lessen a curse. This lets us save on the ever so important and rare flask recharges. We can buy, I think, maybe about 3 of them over the course of our run. And we do want to have as many of them saved up for when we get to that secret 5 BC boss. Just for a test. Aha! Upgrading weapons does not reroll their stats anymore. So, I think I know what we'll be doing. This means we have the still incredibly high damage of our hammer, but it's made even slightly better without us running the risk of re-rolling its stats. Previously, whenever you'd upgrade a weapon, it would re-roll all of its stats, so if you found one that wasn't even fully upgraded, but had a really good unique bonus on it, it would be better to not fully upgrade it. Ice armor is also incredibly helpful for us while we're cursed. As ice armor will actually nullify damage and prevent you from getting KO'd by curse, which is why we want it for a situation like this. And especially for this guy up here, who we can't parry. Which does mean we will have to sit here with a little bit of patience just in case. Actually, our grenade's ready, so let's give that a try. See, it didn't land an instant KO, so we needed to be very, very careful there. We also seem to have the shield dummy overhead. There we go. Curse lifted. And health restored. Alright, perfectly handled. We're off to an S tier run at the beginning here. Even more hammers. None of them with significantly better effects than what we have. Yeah, and we deal roughly equivalent damage anyway. This guy's alone. We will not need to use our skills on him. There we go. Trying to be careful because those guys do deal a lot of damage to us. For these areas that have the target dummies, which protect nearby enemies, you need to be very, very patient. And here's where we pop both of our skills. You'll see how we were just able to keep swinging that entire time. That was due to the protection of our ice armor. Freeze everyone here, and you see how well we're doing. We can wait a few seconds, see if we can climb around, and we do end up running back there. The rats are a little hard to predict when they'll be making a maneuver. Ah, invisible. This will not be difficult. Oh boy. Here we go. Welcome, Aaron. And thank you for the necessary bit of hydration. I guess that deserves a bit more. We are running so far a very frigid build. And I think we've even done everything up to this point without getting hit. I'm not normally nearly as good at this game. We'll keep with the one offensive and one defensive skill. Plus, they are both ice-based, so they're both the best options for us. Let's see, ramparts or... I think ramparts. Let's go for the slightly easier route. Also, there's easier enemies to parry in here. 30k. I do need to give y'all some very, very big redeems. I wonder what all we could do. You know, I don't normally do it often, but blind faith is probably a great idea. This way we can almost always make sure we have our ice armor and ice grenade ready to go, especially since ice armor has a very, very large 30-second cooldown. So this is part of one of the newer updates here. Indeed, it is a very cool run, Aaron. We have a super, super long biome here with the bank. This one alone is going to take us like 10 minutes to get through. So bored. I really should have become an artist and... Oh, a customer! It's been so long since the last... Never mind. Welcome to our great bank. You can entrust your precious belongings to us. We'll take good care of them. I would not advise doing so right now, though. There seems to be a minor security breach in the vaults. Be assured that it's nothing to be concerned about, but if you want to take a look around and perhaps help out with the security breach, Be my guest. Here, take the spare key. Enjoy your time in our bank. So, time for a really, really long run here. And a cute little Easter egg of Dead Cell's elevator music. We are having a very ice time so far, Aaron. The 3 doors here will be in random order. We're always given the red key first. Oh, wait, that was a spiny. There goes our perfect run. Nope, we are not hitting him. Alright, noted for the future. We will need to be a bit careful. Luckily, there's a few spots in this level we can get a curse and use that to get our health back. What's doing the freeze when they die? Because I don't think I even parried any of those guys. I know our frontline shield has that effect, but I don't think I parried any of them. Ow. Yeah, you see how rough it is taking damage here. Maybe a bit of health restoration would have been better. Robber outfit, got it. Well, I did tell you it was easy to get ourselves cursed. Here's one of our ends on getting health restoration that has absolutely 0 ice-related effects, so we will skip it. As much as it would be nice to have a little bit of extra cash. More items to be found. There's a little bit of shimmering on the floor ahead of us. So we know there's a hidden enemy here. Always be attentive. We'll skip that healing item since we might be able to do without it for the moment. And our ice armor actually saved us there. We did take damage. And ice grenade is back. When an enemy is inflicted with ice while they're standing in water, they actually get inflicted with rooted, funny enough, which also works for us. Rooted enemies cannot turn around or move. And so that's one way we can also have a lot of extra damage on an enemy. You see how they drifted behind my parry box right there? That's why we need to be very, very careful with the tiny bat enemies. Ow, ow. Yeah, kind of a dangerous situation there. That's probably my most hated effect that you find randomly rolled on enemies like that. That little electric damage field cannot be parried, and in fact, you actually have to jump and roll through it. I suppose we could play a little bit more cautiously against a lot more of those enemies. We can try to attack them from a distance instead. Ooh, do I see my favorite weapon here? Just for the sake of keeping things creative, we'll go ahead and pick something else instead. Let's try for a brutality build. If you guys would like, I can turn on the streamer mode, which does let you guys vote on what biomes we have to do, but that does require you all to be attentive the entire time to let me even play the game. Because it won't even let me approach the next level until you guys vote on something. Not now. We want all the damage possible. Balanced Blade's pretty fun. Has a very, very quick attack. Pretty easy critical hit condition of you really just need to keep attacking. Probably the most straightforward weapon you can have. After all, it's just a viable version of your starter weapon. We'll put that there. We could actually try for a Berserker build here. Especially since we have lifesteal on the sword. If we find a face flask, I have an idea. I like Berserker builds too. Occasionally I can get them to work. Ideally, one of these days we find a spite sword with lifesteal and a face flask. That way we can crank out an immense amount of damage and still use the revenge effect of increasing our defense. Yeah, doesn't look like there's anything we're looking for here. Not a bad idea, but I will pass. Easily done. We're still looking to maximize damage, as we are going to be very, very quick to get out of danger. Balanced Blade attacks very, very quickly, and on top of the fact that we have both a shield and a roll, it will be very easy for us to avoid taking damage so long as we're not, say, jumping into a huge crowd. We do want to look for some sort of a grenade skill. That would help us the best. Go through there, get our crits ramped up on this guy. Ow. Oh goodness, he's fast. She, actually, the Ravager, apparently, according to the devs, is female. At least any of the ones that we find. Alright, that should be a start there. This time, let's try going through the promenade. Hydrate between levels and let's see what we can pick up. Now this time, we will actually be picking the assault shield since it does have the freezes enemies blocked with a parry. That gets around what would be its weakness, and that's the fact that it is the only shield which does not stun enemies you hit with it. We'll set a lot of these to be one away from unlocking, which lets us immediately get them whenever we complete a few other areas. Whenever we're coming back through here the second time around. What to use here? We don't have any bonus to slow down targets. Ooh! Because we'll get critical hits so easily, we can pick Instinct. Lets us use both of our skills way more often. Another thing that the Assault Shield lets us do is a little bit of speedrunning. I forget what the technique is. I think it's roll and then shield. Or is it shield and then roll? That's what it is! Very critical indeed, Aaron. The cluster grenade we picked up is also very, very good for handling large crowds. As you can see demonstrated there. Of course, we should have saved it for that room up there, because we were quickly put into a situation that was difficult to parry. By the way, we are on the hardest difficulty. This is what 5 BC is going to look like. But there is an indication. We made it to the most difficult part of the game. Here we get to demonstrate the Panchaku. Yes, that is indeed a pair of frying pans, chained together, for quite obviously the flashiest weapon this game's ever seen. Now, what the Panchaku does is, it's basically the same thing as the regular frying pan weapon. Now, lucky for us, we did pick up a rampart, which will be incredibly useful for us. The rampart happens to be my favorite shield in the game, which gives us a defensive barrier for 2 seconds after we parry. So the good news there is it basically means we only need to parry successfully once, and we'll be safe to run our game plan. Gives us a little bit more time to breathe overall. Like so. It also pairs incredibly well with my favorite weapon, which requires you to do timed button presses. And if you get the chance to do that peacefully without being interrupted, then you get incredibly high DPS. We will pick this instead of the tonic, Because like I said, if we can find stuff to enable a Berserker build, that would be a pretty fun way to handle things. Right, I used the wrong skill. I meant to use the fire grenade there. Tapped the wrong trigger. Get a little bit of extra DPS out there. I wonder what a legendary Panchaku does for us. Since I know Kayla's in the audience, I think I see something we can go ahead and pick up. Yeah, none of those are incredibly good to our build. Not one of my items of choice, but I know this is Kayla's favorite. One of these days, we might actually play Guacamelee so you guys can see where that game's, or where that skill is from. That's one of the crossover weapons right there. I think that's it. We'll go back and grab ourselves a little bit of a wall turkey. And we do not have a ranged weapon, so we are not heading to the Arboretum. Since we didn't make it through Promenade, we'll try this again. The Arboretum is crawling with Spinies, and a lot of enemies that don't tend to work well with melee builds. Parry shield, not bad. We will pick the powerful grenade. Since that one probably has a little bit better synergy with what we have. Ooh! Or we have quite a few other items we can try. Including the Cursed Sword, that one's a classic. While we're too late to unlock any new items here, Panchaku will be just fine. I think combo will be just fine. Helps us keep up a murder streak going. No to you. Maybe to you. No to you as well. Sometimes it's just so hard to avoid that damage. And here we go. What's the critical hit condition for that? I guess they just always count as critical hits for the sake of anything else. But you hear that ding sound every time you hit someone with an egg. I guess they buffed it by making it always deal critical hits. 'Cause it doesn't list a condition on there. This is the Panchaku run. We have to keep with it. Until it's completely obsoleted by a better weapon choice. Might be the first boss or so where that happens. Quite a hefty bit of damage. Against the Bombardier enemies, it's usually good to get a little jump before you parry, because sometimes they fire over you and slightly behind you. If you jump to parry, it's a lot more reliable to get it off. Get rid of you first, because you're the biggest problem. Excellent parries all around. We got hit. Darn. That is a lot of explodey boys. Ooh. Unfortunately, we're playing a brutality build. That will not scale with the stats on my favorite weapon. Take whichever one gives us the currently larger HP bonus, thank you. What do we got? Ooh. This one actually has quite a few synergies with itself. We'll give this one a try. Especially because Telluric Shock is also just that fun of a weapon. Hop, skip, and a jump. At least that does seem to be pretty good at making us evasive. It looks like there's a target dummy around here. Protected on all sides. Okay, we got it. Survival. A posture check. Very necessary, and apparently we somehow just murdered someone. I didn't expect to see that. Yeah. Adjust posture, and we are ready to go. We'll keep with the rampart, because that does let us basically vibe on our own for a few seconds. As we like. So, we have Outer Wilds completed. we still have Pokemon Black 2 going on. If everything goes according to plan, we should be able to finish up we should be able to finish Kirby tomorrow, or at the very, very least, next week. Looks like it's probably going to be a lighter streaming week, and then I will be taking the next one off as a warning. Because it's been 14 months. I think a little bit of time away might help calm my nerves a bit. Might even work on a few stream assets while I'm there. Needing to be very, very careful with the explodey boys. You see how a lot of the times they're trying to slip out behind us or around us. Very difficult to keep track of them. Ah, right, the gardener key. I actually don't think we'll be to that area on this run. So we'll be a bit less concerned with getting those keys for now. Maybe sometime in the future if we get a lot better at things here. Yeah, you see how difficult it is to hit those guys. Maybe Telluric Shock wasn't the best idea. Lots of boys up there. We'll take care of the Bombardier while we're here. Banana Slammer. That one should be very, very good for crowd control. So long as we can get a little bit of fire damage off. Yeah, that's gonna be an issue. We'll see if we can get them to teleport over here, where they're a bit less dangerous. Thought I said I was tired of fighting zoners. Finally. Alright, that's the end of that level. Ah, we still have a scroll over here. Yeah, everything looks good to go. We'll hop down here into the prison depths because we do want that extra scroll, and it shouldn't be that difficult to get a few KOs off. Now I say that, and then the very first room we run into is going to be chock full of enemies. So, just in case, we will pick ourselves up an extra weapon here. Going to try to not invest in the weapons that absolutely suck. Initiative isn't that bad either. It'll be a while before we're focusing on the outfits at the bottom. We have a lot of things to handle first. Let's go for... we'll go ahead and go with the simple route we're usually picking. Investments are in bad weapons are the deadest use of cells, indeed. However, I have played enough this game. Ooh, wait. I have played enough this game off stream that I maxed out everything. I got so many cells that I was eventually able to just buy everything. To melee enemies, this should not be difficult. This one will be. Now the good thing is, okay, I thought I rolled through that. You know what? Let's just make it a rule to skip the cursed biomes then. A stretch for hot dog. Thank you for visiting. Oh, and a hydrate. I'll need that too. How you been, hot dog? Are you participating in the tourney this weekend? We'll go for the big sword. Y'all know me. If it's a very large weapon I can swing around, I love it. Be it a sword, a hammer, or a coffin. Survival. You are participating. I look forward to it. I might be bringing out my Zato instead of my Gold Lewis, though he will need a little bit more practice. Difficult to get a little bit of rhythm there. You slip up once, and it's so hard to make a comeback. I actually have an idea on what we can get with the Hunter's Grenade. We will need the money to buy it, however. And perfectly handled. Nice to see that I'm still doing okay, but we haven't even fought the first boss yet. And it's been an hour. So, new rule. We're going to avoid curses altogether, since that seems to be ruining what we're trying to do. Why is my phone vibrating? Ah, someone's messaging me. Don't care, because that's over Discord. So it can't be an emergency, can it? The broadsword can also occasionally hit behind us with the right hitbox placement. The light speed effect there is going to be very, very good at handling those little rats around everywhere. Ooh. Well, I did say we wanted to give it a try. Let's do it. You mean the, little, pet weapons in this game. Funny enough, we have, Serenade over there. But that one scales with Brutality, which is not the stat we're working with. So far, we haven't found very many good tactics weapons. So maybe we should invest a lot more in the range weapons we have as options. Ooh. I see a Crusher down there. Which would be a perfect complement. Especially since we don't really need the, shield. Not the shield, the, cocoon. That was the word. Swap that out over there. Okay, that's going to be a very, very slow weapon. Got it. And with the bonus damage versus rooted targets, I think we'll want to try to get ourselves our hands on a wolf trap or two. Or the root grenade. Everything else looks good. Pick ourselves up a little bit of health and continue. Hydrate, just like every other loading screen. Do we have any items that can root? Seems not. No new shields. Let's go ahead and try to unlock some better bows while we're here. Just to give us some more options, even if we're not going to be immediately using them. Oh, that's interesting. We'll just sell these off. Ice bow, not very useful, but for the sake of completion, we'll go ahead and invest in that one too. Oh, right, while we're here, all of these will scale with survival for the moment. You know what, while we're at it, I think it might be better if we just pick something different. Especially because that shark is so darn slow. Ooh, nice find. Let's actually go for the healing one, since we'll be trying to mostly run off of a lot of the food items we find. Yeah, the shark isn't helping us quite enough. There might be some ways to get him to work. We do actually have Rampart, which would have made it a lot easier to get some of the combos set up. So, Nerves of Steel here is a fun little weapon. It's a pretty standard bow, but the critical hit condition... You see how his wrist shines for a moment. There's a certain period of time. If you time your arrow just right, it will crit. Just a little bit of a rhythm challenge, not too hard to fulfill. Forgive me if I'm wrong, Hot Dog, but aren't just frames supposed to be like perfect inputs? This is a delayed perfect input, so it's more like a taunt jet upper when you think about it. Though it's not a one-frame window. It's a bit wider than that. Speaking of Rampart, there's a better one right there. Yeah, aren't just frames whenever you input a command perfectly fast as possible? Ooh, if we could get penetrating arrows on this, it would work very, very well. Of course, there's no guarantee we'll roll that alongside the Trail of Flames. Pick this up, and what do we need? We need brutality. Okay, we do have the area mostly cleared out until here. Let's do this. Very well done. But we are still taking a lot of damage. Toxic sewers might not have been the best idea. We're in a lot of close quarters areas here, and this is not one of the good biomes to be using ranged weapons in. But of course we weren't entirely sure that we were going to be down here. Aha! Wait, I said no cursed chests. Ah, we'll be fine. We'll be perfectly fine. Wait, Vampirism only works with melee hits, doesn't it? Per melee attack. Useless, never mind. Ah, on the exact frame. Yeah, low-key, this bow kind of sucks too. That will be better than Vampirism. Yeah, we're doing awfully low damage with this thing too while we're at it. Just needs to be on a specific frame. Alright then. So yeah, I guess we do have just frames. Although it doesn't have to be frame perfect here. Feels like a good window of about 12 frames or so. Oh! We have ourselves a legendary item here, which means we can change our entire build. Okay, so X will be the faster shot, and then Y is the slower one. It's one of my favorite crossbows, too. We abandoned the cocoon, didn't we? That would have actually fit in perfectly here. Although I can't remember if that was actually on a previous run instead. Regardless, we'll keep at it. As much as I love the explosive crossbow, it's not going to help us here. Those are probably among my most hated enemies. They're an extreme pain to deal with. Good bit of health restoration. We do not want the extra damage. We want the defensive utility of the rampart after we get Armadillo Pack. Don't get too overconfident, Xander. You made a promise. Let's see what happens when you fulfill it. No corrupted biomes. We'll be in trouble very quickly if that happens. Ooh. A little bit of treasure. Let's see what we got. Useless. Overall, the rest of our build looks pretty good. Got some good weapons to clear horizontal space. As much as I like that idea, no. Oh, right. There should be a little goodie we find at the end here. Oh, never mind. It's just lore. Over here. So, we're going to avoid the cursed chest, but we will still go through the corrupted prison just to get ourselves our third perk a little bit earlier, because normally you can only pick them once per biome. When we go through here, we're able to pick a second one very, very quickly. Fill a lot of these up. I love the idea of the crowbar. Assassin's Dagger's also an incredible weapon. And for now, we will go with Armadillo Pack first, and then we do have Kill Rhythm, right? Yeah, we'll get Kill Rhythm after we level up a bit. Armadillo Pack we want for the utility of parrying while we roll, which since we have a rampart means if we roll through a melee attack, we still get the invulnerability shield. Force of habit. Force of habit. We are not dying. We are not dying. Especially since we don't have the 5 extra kills we need. We're going to do this as flawlessly as possible. Could y'all stop mixing up the teleports, please? We can also roll through projectiles to reflect them. Excellent bit of oh, would you look at that? The piercing shot actually has guaranteed extra damage versus a frozen target. We might even be able to use this to the end of the game. So long as we remain entirely safe. And there we go. Plenty of damage, and relatively a safe build. Aha! Cocoon. Now, do we need this? Probably not, if we're reflecting a bunch of damage. What would be great is a little bit of extra health in case we do land in an emergency. Or a situation like this. Kill Rhythm also lets us alternate our attacks very, very quickly, and it was basically made for two-handed weapons like this. Our sequence of attacks there would have been significantly faster if we had it. Alright, I think we picked the drumstick a little bit too early. We should have waited until we were after we cleared out the biome. Hit him! This is why my game dev project doesn't let you walk through enemies. You'll automatically be pushed against them. Jostling is what they were calling it in the code. That character apparently doesn't have hurt boxes on their feet. See, if we have our horizontal space, we'll do just fine. We really need to keep this set. Ooh. Yeah, this one's not gonna make a difference if we pick it up now or later, so we will take that. Two cycles. Very powerful. We have not missed anything important. No. Crusher stays with us. And And this time, we can actually try going through the ancient sewers. We have very, very good horizontal weapons, at the very least. Oh, right. Need to drop off some cells here. One of these days, we'll go Anji Gaming with those fans. Don't need upgrades on any of those yet. We do want to save up money for buying some food and or flask refills. Yeah, let's do it. Going to be a very long haul, but we get a lot of gold here. And this time will be much safer since we can engage from a distance, especially since this stage of the bank has a lot of spinies to worry about. The bank teller seems to be away. There's a small sign on the desk. Dear customer, I'm on paid leave. Please help us maintain order in our splendid facility using the key on the back of the sign. Thanks a lot. Feel free to borrow money. We are a safe and respectable bank. What a trusting little fellow. I'm not sure that he's really safe in this line of business, but hey. Huzzah! Elevator music. Blue. Green. So the last one will be red. And no, it is not always the third level. Now, as we alternate our different firing modes, we will fire faster and faster. We start out getting a maximum of 23% extra speed. But it does eventually stack up to a very high amount. You know what? We could actually add some dead cells redeems. Especially since it would be a less intrusive way to get the integration in here. You know, there's a few of y'all around. Why don't we turn it on for next run? Especially since I know y'all are paying attention, but we'll go ahead and see how well we can get that going. Yeah, this should be way easier to handle. So much so that I'm grossly overconfident. Watch us, we're going to die very, very quickly. Definitely not as part of a scheme to get y'all to participate, with the streaming integration. That was not me throwing for content. I was trying to come up with a plan. And he was already on his way by the time I was willing to do evasive maneuvers. Do we have an option to turn the cursed chests off? Unfortunately, no. Now, we do have the streamer mode linked correctly, right? Yeah. Is it active? Or... did y'all want to do the streaming mode? By the way, I guess I should formally ask that. There's a few of y'all in chat here, so it wouldn't be the worst of ideas. You know what, let's do it. Going to actually take a break at the start here. We'll leave... Yeah, okay. The options are on screen. Familiarize yourself with the stuff. There will be prompts on screen. Type in whatever messages you see that you want it to do. For example, if someone wanted to be Captain Chicken, you get to be a little bird that follows around. You'll be given a lot of different prompts, such as the other levels that we can go to, and stuff like that. This will require participation. So this is mostly me extending an olive branch, if y'all want to give this a try. But if we have a little bit of participation, I will turn it off just because it'll even prevent me from going to the next level until y'all vote on something. And we don't want to slow this pace down. So, real quick break, and we'll return. And we are back. We do not immediately have anyone wanting to be Captain Chicken. We will play this to the end of the level, but if y'all do want to sit back and vibe, I will turn it off. And we can get back into the relaxing business. Ah, right. While you have streaming mode on, y'all have to pick my stats. It's a little weird, the way this is handled. Brutality, definitely what we want for now. Ooh, and a few gems. You know what? This wouldn't be a bad idea for next week either. Especially since I might have very, very few topics for that week. Then we can get on to starting a fresh, brand new set of games. Hades is going to be on the list. I might be ready to start Skyrim soon. See what we got. It's all going to be red here. Ooh. Not bad, but we can't exactly synergize with that. I don't nearly use the throwing knives. So how's this work? It's been a while. There's supposed to be a lot of typing in the chats to get some interaction in here. Although it seems like we do have mostly a silent classroom this evening. And all of the interaction is done by typing in the chat itself. Though yeah, it seems like we have a bit of a small audience here, so I think we can go ahead and turn it off. Yeah. I think those are better saved for when we have a lot of viewers. Yeah, the chat delay is definitely going to make it a big issue. That's mostly for when you have like 30 viewers, and so you can guarantee at least a few participants there. It was worth a shot. I've only ever got it to work once, and that was just when, that was even before the VTubing thing. Ooh, we do have the ice shield unlocked. Let me turn the lights on. It is getting a little dark in here. Really? Alright, we'll go brutality again. And, new rule, no overconfidence. No cursed chests whatsoever. I have to get out of that habit, so it might be a little bit before I'm actually solidly locked on there. Grappling hook's also another favorite of mine. Pretty good weapon. The fact that it comes out with a stun so quickly means you can actually mess with a lot of enemy positioning pretty reliably. Sadly, the stun takes effect when you actually strike the enemy afterwards. In the very earliest phases of this game, it was actually a survival weapon because it stunned just from the hook itself. Lightning was also a survival weapon. It had a very, very long startup. We don't have any specific bleed bonus damage, so y'all know how much I love the Rampart. Now if we could get anything with bonus damage to a stunned target. The monkey's paw curls, I guessed. We're not gonna get much bonus out of that with the Frost Blast because Frost Blast is not a damage-dealing weapon. It's utility. Little Ice Hadoken actually pairs very well with the hammer and similar weapons. Oh, wow! That was certainly an impressive amount of damage. Was that... It didn't even have any multipliers going off there. Ice grenade, not bad. But not very useful. We will keep that in the backpack. I like the idea. The hook's also very good for interrupting enemies currently under some other action. Nothing there we want either. I think our build works just fine for what we need so far. If we had a frontline shield, we could get a bit more damage out there, and what we'd also want is any way to reliably get a speed boost. Since until then, the Swift Sword will not be very good at boss fights. Sell that, and we'll be out of here. I don't think we've been to the Arboretum yet, and even though we don't have the best build for it, it would be a very lovely change of pace. We will again go through the cursed biome, but we will not be picking up any cursed chest. And I think that's actually my biggest run killer, is cursed chests. And a few of the times I have gotten to the final boss, it's been a little bit too easy of a fight, because I would have had about 4 extra scrolls than what would be expected. So to make the scaling a little bit better, we'll just avoid doing the cursed chests at all. Ah, we can pick a good weapon here. You know, I've never given this one a try. And then cells can go anywhere else. Oh, would you look at that? Bonus damage to a stunned target. Well, looks like we're in business. Anything else special? Burning oil. Eh. You know what, let's actually try for a Porcupack build and see if we can find a good weapon to put in that slot. Maybe an oil sword, so we can combine it to get a higher chance to get some fire damage out here. Especially because we have victims burn when they die on the rampart. Interested in playing Terraria again when the new update comes out, perhaps in single player instead. Don't want to have people outpacing. Not a bad idea. If we are just completely changing around what games we're playing, it might not be a bad thing to pick up. And yeah, single player would probably be better, but I feel like sandbox games would just take up a lot of time and There's a good 2 or 3 sandbox games I'd play before I play Terraria. Consider it possible, but unlikely. I don't know if I'll ever actually get in the vibe of Terraria. Which is strange, considering all the other games I like. And at this point, I don't even think it has anything to do with always being outpaced by friends. I think it has to do with the fact that it's a, like a crafting survival game, even though it's also a Metroidvania. I can't seem to narrow down the scope of what I want out of it. Especially since I don't like playing games that grand of a scope alone these days. So what other games were you considering? Well, if we are talking about very, very, very long-form content, already I have Skyrim being lined up, which I might end up trying to do 4 or 5 hour streams with, since that's a game I can definitely sit down and vibe forever. I've also thought about Minecraft on a number of occasions, possibly. And, I know that tends to have a lot of competition with Terraria. Either for the long-form vibes or being another crafting game. I like sandbox games, but I feel like it would take forever to get anywhere. After all, we can play, say, a 25-hour game, and that still takes 3 months to get through on a stream. Sandbox games aren't absolutely my #1 favorite. So, investing that much time in a game that I like maybe 75%? Maybe not. I'm not much of a big sandbox gamer. It's not what I advertise. And usually a lot of the games that I play that are classifiable as sandbox, I play for other supplementary reasons. Also, if it's a sandbox that has multiplayer, I think multiplayer sandbox is a lot more fun than single player. Skyrim's kind of sandboxy. Or at least open world enough to count. And especially with the mods I've been doing with it lately. It wouldn't count necessarily as like a sandbox creative game like that, but it would be something I could spend basically 100 hours on a playthrough. Oh yeah, friendly rivalry, absolutely. I don't think I've met anyone who likes one game and not the other. I don't mean about the competing popularity, but competing scope of both of those games, being blocky survival crafting games, although where Minecraft has a third dimension, Terraria has all the Metroidvania mechanics, better quips, a lot like more fun with finding items and boss fights and stuff like that. But overall, they do have a lot of overlap in terms of game mechanics. I'm not talking about, like the fan bases having any competition. It's just, if I'm looking for a game experience, picking either of those two will have a lot of overlap. And I have been having a lot of fun with Skyrim lately. So that might be the designated super long 6-hour vibe stream thing for me to be doing. Especially because I'm such a huge Elder Scrolls nerd. And would have a lot of silly bits of lore and stuff to teach. You were there for that one night we were just vibing. In fact, I could do another night like that again real soon, or even tonight. Just vibe in the Discord and get a little bit of Skyrim done. I'm actually surprised with how dense I've made my schedule in the past, I'd say, 6 months or so. Never would I've imagined I'd be able to easily fill up an entire week, but as it stands, we're doing a lot of 5 or 6 stream weeks, which is insane. There's larger streamers which don't even do that much. The ones that do it for a job, though, of course, will do it every day of the week. But this isn't my job. I don't get anything from KOing those guys. They don't drop gold or cells or nothing. We already got the spoils we wanted from that chest. Right, we have an acrobatic pack build. We do want a weapon that can fit there. Also, Starbound was another game that could fit in that category. And the more I think about it, yeah, I don't think I'd enjoy any of those games, single player. For a game that has such creativity and building. A bit less so in Terraria's case, because it's more of a Metroidvania boss rush. I don't know, maybe I'm just past the point in which I could ever have a good, constructive playthrough of Terraria. It's hard to think about. But now you got me thinking about it. Have I been neglecting my hydration? Welcome back, Ariel. I did not see you. Totally not. Nope. Even though it's extremely tempting, given that this is a biome that doesn't usually have a cursed chest. Also, I should have hit brutality, not survival. Now what are we looking for? Well, a bit more health, for one. So I think we can go ahead and pick some of the healing perks or mutations, once we're on to the next phase. That's the entire place cleaned out. Let's go ahead and eat ourselves a rotten green carrot. Since we can deal with at least a little bit of malaise just fine. Prison depths, yes. Pick the chest, no. Oh, right. Gotta bank these in. Is there anything we want on this build? Maybe another brutality skill? Though it seems like we already got all the skills in. Let's actually unlock some mutations. That's one of the better cell sinks you have. Oh, Scheme would be perfect alongside the grappling hook. Let's give that a try. After we get ourselves a little bit of healing. Loading screen, take a drink. It's an automatic response. I'm gonna stop. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. It's a habit. We did manage to skip the other one just fine, though. Cult of the Lamb. I've seen a lot of it, trying to avoid picking up new addicting roguelikes lately. Also, I've heard it's basically a lot like Hades, but significantly simpler. Chances are I will just be trying to play Hades instead. I have watched a lot of friends play it. I mean, it's literally just Hades meets Animal Crossing, according to a number of friends. So I am mildly interested, but I'm probably not going to be playing it. Okay, so the extra hit stop from the Queen's sword delayed his attack. Then again, that is the first time I've been using that weapon. So you see why we need to absolutely not be hitting the curse. I wish I could turn them off completely. Like, just not see them at all so I won't be tempted. I'm silly. Anywho, back to your usually scheduled program. You know what? We'll do things a little different. I don't think we've done a tactics build yet. Another thing is that guy, funny enough, whenever the Oven Knights have that elite effect, where they get the attack radius, normally enemies' AI prevents them from moving while they have that effect going off. But for some reason, the Oven Knights get to just chase you while they have a hitbox around them. Ah, we haven't even had a chance to get the golden outfit yet. Well, we do have the Greed Shield this time. Not much of a bonus, though, is it? Alright, focus. No cursed chests whatsoever. If the Beheaded and the Noida were am I cursing my own reflexes? Pretty much. I don't even know if it's a reflex, but it's sort of a, conditioned response. Is it if you're conditioned to a response, does it count as a reflex? I thought reflexes were supposed to be instinctual, but yes, I am indeed cursing what I try to do autonomously. Yeah, nothing more we want there. Between the Noida and the Beheaded, I feel like the Noida isn't given a direct personality, but if we're talking about... I think literally it just entirely depends on what sort of weapons they can find. The Beheaded would be very good at playing Noida, because after all, he does have kind of a personality towards trying to get good and exploit things as much as possible. But the Noida, I don't think necessarily has a defined personality. Without conscious thought, and I was definitely being a brainlet there. Alright, so that definitely was a reflex. Yes, I am cursing my own reflexes. Although, while I have people here to hold me accountable, I will get a lot better at this game by avoiding that temptation. Open this up, and where are we looking? Nothing new, nothing special. We'll head back off to the Arboretum. I'm not stopping the stream until we at least get to the first boss fight, which we still haven't done after, what, 2 hours? Almost 2 hours. Okay, we haven't been here nearly as long as I felt. I think one of the biggest things about that question, James, is if the Beheaded and the Noida have access to their specific weapons in each other's universes. Cause I don't know how good the Beheaded would be at like finding spells and wands and stuff like that. Alright, I guess it's a DPS build. Which means since we don't seem to have any specific good... we did just throw away our ranged weapon. Yeah, our best bet would be to pick no mercy here. We will pick the longer biome, but we will not pick any of the cursed options inside. Expect no accountability. It's more of a... Even though y'all are watching me, I do have a camera on myself. And welcome, Avid. It has been 84 years. Alright, red key, red door. Blue flower, red thorns. Okay, yeah. DPS build looks like it'll be doing great. Spreads inflammable oil, and we have shots leave us trail of flames on the sinew slicer. Yeah, we'll be doing just fine. I said go through the door, darn it! Ah. Alright. We're picking the easiest route. Because damn, am I rusty at this game. Alright, focusing up. This gives our best chance. But again, hardest difficulty, and I haven't really played this since about May or so. Oh, slows down all enemies when they die. I have an idea. This is an action roguelike, indeed, Avid. Allegedly good at video games, Bronzwa. We haven't even gotten to the first boss this evening, but I'm also rusty and we are playing on the hardest difficulty. But yeah, once we get a little bit of action underway, Avid, you might get a pretty good inkling as to why this still is my favorite game I have ever played ever. Okay, so the good news for you, Avid, is, one, there are accessibility settings to, change that kind of stuff. Enable screen shake, yeah. You can change a lot of the stuff here. Oh, particle limit! Hold on. Let's actually turn that down. Yeah, we have a lot of accessibility settings to make this stuff a lot more visible. You know what? Let's give that a try. Because in fact, it might even be a lot easier for me to see the game with the reduced particle effects. Another thing, Avid, is, look, the longer you watch this game, Avid, the more you'll understand why it's the greatest game that's ever been made. So, 1, accessibility settings, as of a recent update. 2, I am on the hardest difficulty, which does toss more enemies at me. A lot of the tiny rats and a lot of the enemies you see around here are, not present on lower difficulties. So you can play this game on the much lower difficulties without running into all this stuff going on. You know, I actually like that. It's a lot easier to see this game. I like it with the outlines too. That was also kind of what I was thinking for the art style for my own game. If you did want an example, ideally, I'd be able to rotoscope some Blender models for my game, for the graphics. So visually, it would look a lot like this one too. What hit me? I usually can't, Avid, and a lot of that is actually sound cues for how I tell what's going on. Also from having played this game for like 500 hours. Knowing the sound cues, and there's a few other subtle things. Beheaded would be a monster with wands if they can fight this well with a frying pan. Even some basic enemies can use a wand. They just pick up... you should be able to use them just fine. Right. The Beheaded would be able to use wands just fine, even if he didn't know how to do all the best exploitative spells just yet. The Noida, on the other hand, would probably have a lot of trouble since they are not nearly as mobile. And as apart from spells... Really good kick. We like the Rampart. Thrown items don't have much notable combat ability, but they do have innate levitation abilities, which would definitely let them get through the challenge rooms a lot easier. Ah, 12 BC. I look forward to that point in time. It would be very, very good exercise if I had to fist fight with the Ravager waking me up. Rampager, or are they Ravager? Because I know they had it as one of those names before they switched to the other. We'll go Promenade. You group dead cells and Noida together in your head. You associate them both with my streams, and they are both pixely side-scrolly thingies. That's actually the conversation... Hydrate. That's actually the conversation that James and I were having right before you showed up. The Crusher. One of the best weapons in the game. And, he's talking about the, protagonists of each game and how well they'd survive in each other's worlds. Yeah, Noida is definitely a lot more like Terraria than this. Upgrade that. Don't need to upgrade any of the other things here. And while we have so much focus on slow, use the Frostbite. Yeah, biggest cause of death in Noida is actually polymorph. Then, number 2 is yourself with your own spells. Put that down there, slow you down. Alright, this looks a lot more promising, especially with much fewer pixels and effects going on around here. It's actually far easier for me to see. One of the other concepts I was going to be incorporating into our own game design thing was, well, you wouldn't have a lot of the tiny enemies, and you definitely would not have nearly as much visual noise. Well, the reason James and I were making comparisons, Avid, was because they're both games I love very much and play very frequently. And at first glance, they are both very similar games. Very difficult roguelikes, but then again, roguelikes are usually difficult by design. I meant to not roll through him there. There goes my streak. Yeah, I think I have only 2 complaints I've ever had about this game, genuinely. One of them was the whole fact that a lot of the platforming revolves around the mantling here. I wish that was something I could manually press, because there's been a lot of cases where I'd tried to do some platforming, and when I try to dip down into an area, that weapon is amazing, we're picking that. I'd try to dip down into an area, and I'd end up mantling onto a ledge, like that. And that would disrupt my rhythm a lot and get me attacked when I wasn't looking for it. That's one of my complaints. I wish I could manually just hit the use button to do that. Might sound tedious, but after enough time, it becomes sort of autonomous. The other complaint is there's been a lot of visual noise, but it seems like they have the option to just completely fix that with the accessibility update. Come over here. Have him walking on hot coals out here. Get back here. Both games are inherently Xanderfied. Very true, because I love them both very, very much. And when you get down to the nitty-gritty, they don't have a lot in common with each other, aside from being roguelikes. But even in spite of their differences, they're both very me kind of games. And a formal welcome to Michael. Glad to see you. Oh, the Nutcracker also has the slow effect. We're in business. Roguelikes can have a story, but you have to have it kind of around the story of the game. The story in Dead Cells isn't that bad. But then again, a lot of people think story just means having a lot of cutscenes. Outer Wilds had an incredible story. With, what, like, only 2 cutscenes? Just the one at the end, kind of. It's the whole non-linear storytelling kind of thing. Outer Wilds is not a roguelike, but if it was, it would actually be my favorite game of all time. One thing that got me very, very hyped with the possibilities there would be if the spoiler, directions you get had a slight change with every loop. I feel like the ending in Outer Wilds, I don't mean the last cutscene, but I mean the actual solution to the puzzle element of the game, was a little underwhelming. I feel like they could have incorporated a little bit more of the whole solar system into the solution. Given how many viewers we have right now who probably haven't played through the game, I will not be discussing the nuances of that game. This game is mostly show don't tell. All the lore you get of this is finding clues in lore rooms around the level. Which, since Avid is here and is interested in story, I'll go ahead and we'll run through and read a few of them. Okay, yeah, the slow effect getting the extra damage is incredible. Get rid of that, teleport you up here real quick, and goodbye. Trying to make sure I haven't lost anything in chat. Terrarium would probably not survive Noidus, since they can only cast magic with their own very limited mana pools. They aren't very mobile and can't fly without wings. Ooh, 60 without taking damage. There we go. I don't know how we did that entire sequence with no damage. Although I'm certain I could thank the Crusher for it, given the fact that it has both slow and breach. It's the entire reason we managed to perfect the final boss at 4 BC. That surprised even me. Another thing, Avid, about trying to interact with this game. If you'll notice, and pay attention to this now, whenever an enemy is lining up an attack, you'll see a yellow exclamation point above their head. That is a visual indicator of when to dodge or parry. And that's even without the accessibility options. Okay, lore room. Whenever you see the blue candles, you have a little bit of story to witness. Live target training. Oh. I don't know if I've seen this one. A supply of bows and arrows. Oh, that's cute. And then you've got someone over here. Only one arrow hit the target. Right in the head. Give him a little thumbs up. There's actually quite a bit of story in Dead Cells, but it's not huge. It's not like a central focus. Fire Blast is fun, but we are unfortunately doing a survival build right now. Welcome, by the way, Sarah. I don't think I did formally welcome you when you said hi the first time. Yeah, the slow effect on there is amazing. All of those kind of suck. Everything else out here is dealt with. I wonder how we... Wait, we teleport down there. Yeah, I love Noida. I wish my computer was better at handling it. Here we go. Explorer's Instinct. Ooh. The fact that we have the incredible offensive power of both the Wolf Trap and Crusher. I think that was actually the combination that we used to perfect the boss. Let me guess, it's because the Noida can't handle it? Ah, intended design, Noida. Everything is trying to kill you. And not just you, but your entire family and your computer. Let's see, lock this out first. How are we going to do this? I'll tell you what, we wait for those cooldowns. And get everything set on fire. Noida assassinated my dog. And then took over the role of eating my homework. I do believe that's everything taken care of here. We will proceed in, and then I need everyone to type in the chat. Don't open the cursed chest. Because that's how we've lost all of our runs so far. Well, most of them. Oh! We'll keep the rampart because I like the invincibility it gives us. Go ahead and unlock all the mutations while we're here. Iron Staff kinda sucks, but it is a fun weapon conceptually. Let's see. Nothing else we need there. We'll take the one that gives us extra healing from food. Yeah, once you get to New Game Plus 57 in Noida. There, I had to focus all of my brain power into not automatically pressing right bumper there. Yeah, eventually Noida will fungal shift all of your money into, say, laundry detergent. Went out cursing me, I see. The little bit of extra DPS we get from the slow makes all the difference. Someone's popping over here, get them teleports. They won't, but we'll do just fine. We're okay, we're okay. Another person following us down here. Our malaise is high enough that's going to be hard keeping the enemies away from us. Okay, yeah, the breach on that crusher is going to be incredible versus all of the metal spiders, which for some reasons are called hammers. You're alone, we only need to parry you. Get the bit of extra health there. There we go. With a little bit of extra space, it becomes a lot easier to avoid damage. And not a scratch on me. I saw you down there. What are you waiting for? Yeah, the slow and the breach just makes it a lot easier to deal with those crowds. Crusher became incredible the moment it got the area of effect slow. We will wait until our skills are recharged, because we don't want to deal with the hammer if we don't have to. Over here. Really? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We literally almost died there. Hey there. Okay, we're dealing enough damage that we can give him 2 good smacks and be fine. Or we roll right into it. And we didn't even go for the chest there. However, I think we actually have a few too few particles, because I can't see a lot of the enemy tells. Normally they'd have bigger, brighter swings and stuff like that. So we might find some optimal settings after enough of this. 8:30. I think we can try one more run, but I definitely need to get a lot more practice in off stream. Let's go with an explosive crossbow this time. It's astonishing how hard this gets. I feel like you skipped a few BCs there, sir. It's almost like, I feel like that would be more appropriate for an 8 BC. We'd have a few more steps before we graduate to that level of difficulty. Let's actually try for a tactics build specifically. Open that up, head down here. Yeah, definitely would work well as the final difficulty. Tactics, but explosive crossbows usually a little difficult. Magic missiles, while weak, is at least easy. Plus, we can try to trigger that fire damage on there. Don't know how we're going to do it. One, two, three, four, five. Yeah, that's all we needed to do. Also, because we can get such a wide angle out of magic missiles here, we can usually stand outside of the area that a lot of enemies can hit us. And it's not even that bad in the damage department right now. Of course, it would be even stronger if we had a way to enable fire. So, idea. Ooh. We might want that owl too while we're at it. Can I get a fire weapon? No, I cannot apparently. Can't even afford it or nothing. Yes, this gets us cursed, but we're doing fine so far. Like, we can camp in a lot of safer areas before we engage. Yeah, especially with magic missiles. We're trying to avoid too many curses, though, because it's ended like 2/3 of our runs today. It's very hard to do something perfectly while you're streaming, because I am subtly distracted, Every time y'all speak up in chat, I see something out of the corner of my eye. Let's go Dilapidated Arboretum, because that's usually the best one for ranged builds. Now, if we can, acrobatic pack ourselves up a fire weapon, we're in the clear. I think we can go with Tranquility while we're keeping ourselves at a distance. Ooh. I actually like Rampart enough that I'd rather have it than the Parry Shield. If we do get into a close range situation, we can use that to give ourselves a barrier that we can escape with. Tranquility for all the extra range DPS. Drink from the loading screen. Let's do 2 for good measure. And I forgot to invest those cells. Ah! Parry timing thrown off yet again by the subtle amounts of hit stop that the owl applies. Luckily, that was after our curse was done with. Really? I like the Dilapidated Arboretum myself. Very pretty. Although it's definitely a pain if you're trying to run, say, a survival build. Or brutality. You get a lot of open space for, projectiles. I think we found a good source of fire. Yeah, the random spikes everywhere are also definitely a problem. No fireballs for us. Do we even have the fireball projectile weapon unlocked? We might not. Haha, got the parry that time. Croissant. Very useful, thank you. We'll wait until we actually have low enough health that we would get more out of it, though. Always end up canceling swings. Yeah, that's definitely a huge issue. Are you talking about the, mushroom fella that spawns the spikes underneath you? That's definitely, I think, my most hated enemy in the game. Just because I haven't been to the spoiler biome frequently enough that, I've learned to have too many of my runs ended by some enemies up there. Yeah, I definitely hate that enemy too. Good parry. Nice. Yeah, bury ourselves to get out of a bad situation there. We'll pick a little bit of survival here so we get a huge boost to our HP. Look at that DPS. Oh, do I detect a legendary? Telluric Shock, I think? I think that's Telluric Shock. Yeah. Grants a shield upon killing an enemy. Not bad. Yeah, Rampart Shield is my absolute favorite weapon. You sound like a fellow who knows a lot about this game. What's your favorite set of equipment, Sarah? I'm not too sure about skills except for, Crusher I adore. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But, my absolute favorite weapon has to be Rhythm and Bazooki. Oh, you play on mobile exclusively. I haven't even touched mobile once. Only a PC player here. Flint's actually another favorite of mine. If you get really, really good with it, you kind of have some silly exploits, like the fact that you can still parry while charging. While I rarely have enough brain power to devote to it, I think it's pretty cool that you can charge up a critical hit with the flint and parry, or I think you can even roll while charging it. But you can't do any like cancels with that. If you start a charge, the instant you're able to stand normally again, you have to commit to it. Let's see, we have an out over here. You can do anything while charging. Really? Seems like we have a little bit of a difference there. Okay, Magic Missiles is working a lot better than anticipated. Hopefully we can get some much more reliable fire damage soon. Got to 4 BC your first week of playing. It took me a while. I wonder if mobile's easier. Or you could just be that good. It actually took me years to get past 3 BC, but I've also played a lot of the older versions of it. Well, if you can do anything while charging Flint, yeah, it's going to be a much better weapon. You're normally locked in place while charging it. But, I've played through a lot of the less balanced older updates. So, there was a period of time in which I was actually playing a much harder version of the game than I should have been doing it. You don't rush biomes. Definitely works a lot better if you, be cautious. Although you don't afford that luxury in 5 BC. I used to play very cautiously myself, too. Then I got to 5 BC, where it was no longer allowed. We groovin', we schmoovin'. That's why you're stuck on poor BC for a while. Malaise comes in at 5, I believe, right? Or is the difference between 4 and 5 literally just that last biome? As much as I'd love to, I think our build works fine without either of those options. Oh, yeah, definitely. The game experience will definitely be a lot different depending on when you play it, because there have been a lot of updates that have completely overhauled the nature of the game. I actually dropped the game for about a year because I was playing 3 BC back when items actually gave you stat boosts. And it was during that time that we actually had the update that gave you the starter equipment. The little tubes you can get at the beginning of a run. The one you get from beating a game on 1 BC. So for a time there, I was actually starting with just the basic pieces of equipment without the stat level ups. And I was trying to do 3 BC without the stats that the game was balanced around you starting with. So I couldn't figure out why I couldn't even get through prisoners' quarters. But then they let you get those canisters, so you'd start the game with a full set of equipment. Yeah, back when it was about building all for the same item. Hello there, gorgeous. Now, I hope that can still fire from magic missiles. If not, then we just wasted a very hefty sum of money. But it's not the end of the world if that's the case. If that's the case, then we can just use Acrobatic Pack. Or Armadillo Pack instead. And keep Rampart in our back slot. Thinking about it, but we already have a really good shield setup, especially with Rampart. We will sell that shield. And then we'll be off to the next biome. You know, I'm tired of seeing the corrupted biomes, or prison biomes, or whatever they're supposed to be called. Oh, grants a shield upon killing an enemy. Noted. Not upon hitting. Everything's good. We'll get ourselves a little bit of healing. Look at us! We went through that entire biome, killing 187 enemies without taking damage. This is why people say tactics is the best skill line, because you can just, well, not fight enemies. You don't even have to play their game. We are looking for... let's head straight to the ramparts. Since it will be even easier to kill the concierge like this. And if we do that perfectly, we get another legendary weapon. This here is a no-brainer. I imagine that's why people said Scythe Claw was that good. Though I don't think I was using Scythe Claws around that time. I didn't mean to do that, but we're fine. The rest will actually save for the forge, since I'm feeling pretty good about this one. 44k plus crits. Yeah, that is a bit more than ridiculous. Now, first test. Can we do this with acrobatic pack? We can! Nah. I'm normally a survival player, so having a shield is part of who I am. Need to have that out there. And now we have spreads inflammable oil and double damage versus burning oil, with a very easy way to get fire damage out there. Look at how quick... Oh, hold on, hold on. That keeps firing. So we can still move with it on. I haven't actually tried. Hold on. Okay, and it always faces with whichever direction we're going. This could actually be a very disgusting build combination. Especially since they both fulfill each other's crit conditions. We won't need anything from there right now. That's an exploit. Well, if you already know about it, then so should most other folk. Normally you shouldn't be allowed to move. Well, Wait. Okay. I know that from the, fire breath normally, but what am I exploiting? Because this is the first time I'm seeing it. Oh right, we haven't even had the owl out here yet. I guess it is an exploit if we're doing it specifically from the acrobatic pack combo. Might be a new favorite strat of mine. Yeah, absolutely filthy damage combination. Technically, we could get even more if we got, the one that lets you deal extra range damage up close, since that would be fire breath range anyway. Though I think we still can get the tranquility damage buff from a distance. Not gonna need that just yet. Yeah, that's some disgusting damage. I love it. Almost. Why are there so many birds? Yeah, I was wondering what happened to Hokuto's bow, because I hear people talking about it less and less. There's our 60 KOs we've been looking for. Three nerfs back to back, that's wild! Yeah, I imagine everyone would have been talking about how much damage they were dealing with it. That is our way out of here. We will at least take the teleporter back up so we have an easy way down here. Otherwise, we'd have to go through a lot of that route again. Ah, we took damage. But we did already get our 60 KOs here. Yeah, Hokuto was good even on builds that didn't normally use it. It's almost criminal. Yeah, the sheer amount of extra DPS it got. Though with any game like this, you're going to have some historically incredibly overpowered weapons, and occasionally less so. Phew! I still feel like there's even more DPS we could be doing with some builds. But right now, that's some really, really good stacking we have there. No, Insufferable Crypt for now, but that... no, I'm gonna go for a perfect. Let's just shoot for the Concierge to be easy. We'll keep the Telluric Shock just in case. I don't think we really need it. I feel like that magnet grenade from earlier might even be a better idea. It's funny, you can just hold the attack button and it will auto-aim. Cause yeah, Magic Missile gets to aim just about anywhere. There we go. Explorer's Instinct. Let's see what else we got. A little bit more. We do have a scroll fragment which would give us that very last one we need. Ooh! Speaking of extra scrolls... we'll be fine. A little bit better. I was hoping we'd get one with extra jumps. And a hop. Skip and a jump. We're good. Flawless. All right. We're on our way to success here. Don't need you. Beautifully handled. Deck is fun, but I like what we're doing a lot better. I don't have to use much brain power. Hop on out of here. And we have one more pillar to clear. Then I think we'll be set. Get all that extra tactic space damage. My world's on fire. How about yours? Yeah, missiles is doing exactly what I need out of it. What would be cool is if we found a legendary missiles. Although I don't know what that one does. I really like that a lot of the legendary weapons have unique effects. Alright, here we go. Wait a minute. We had food around here, right? Yeah, there's a kebab up there. Play everything slow and cautiously. After all, we're way past the point in which we could get any of the timed doors, so we'll just focus on the KOs and keeping safe. Get that movement going on. Yeah, ever since I got to I think I've never unlocked a time door. Past 2 BC. It was easy beforehand, but then they just made it obligatory to clear out everything. Don't need any of those. Unrealistic speed clear expectations. Exactly how it is. Alright, let's think about this. Well, while we are doing DPS, I think we can just do, no, Mercy, just fine. Since it basically has its maximal possible effect, while we're doing damage in very, very small increments. So, bathroom break real quick, and we'll be right back. And we are back. Alright, strategy should be pretty self-explanatory. Get as much fire DPS as we can, and use Great Owl of War for extra DPS and to slow the enemy down a bit. We are going to have to focus and make sure we can parry at just the right time. But let's head on in. We don't really have any set play to keep the concierge locked in place, so we mostly just need to stay at a distance. He will give us a lot of downtime when he activates that. And there we go. Flawless. Which is yet even more case in point why tactics is extremely overpowered in linear. I think the Telluric Shock might be getting a little bit obsoleted at this point. Feels like it. Especially given that this will raise the rest of our DPS even more. Knocked his golden teeth out. Now obviously we have to go straight to Fatal Falls. We have a chance of rolling yet another legendary weapon when we get there. Let's see what we got here. Ooh. Hello there. Nope, that's even better than the heavy turret. My goodness, that's terrifying. So what, does the legendary one just literally get twice the DPS? It's ridiculous. No cells for you, we got plenty for the forge. This is the one that wins. Double check something real quick. And we are go. I was hoping we could do that without taking damage, but this will be just fine. Shop. Don't need that yet. Yeah, the Rampart also inflicts the inflammable oil damage we're looking for. Actually, if we got even more, inflammable oil damage on the sickles. We do have the potential to just completely skyrocket our DPS. Whatever's down there, it's not important. Definitely. Welcome, Usagi. We're having a wonderful run this evening. And no need to worry about the delay. You show up whenever you like to. You have no obligation to be here. Every single time. The frequency with which you show up is already heartwarming enough. And let's see what we got. Easy choice. Oh, wait, we could have doubled up on owls. But having the 2 legendary weapons in the back slot is far more important. The only objective is the channel point watch streak, so that you can eventually drown me with hydrates over and over and over and over again. Just like that. As much as I love using that crusher, I don't usually get to legendary skills. Usually it's a weapon. So we'll keep to it like this while we can. We could cope with a bit of malaise. Once we get rid of you, see what we got down here. Yeah, this is a little ridiculous. Got a lot of treasure in here. I forget if we have a guaranteed legendary item. No, it's just a treasure chest. Don't care about you. I care about my DPS. Can't block that fire, can ya? Amethyst is good. Roll and do the same. This is ridiculous. It's all multiplicatively stacking off of each other. Even more weapons that would have given us a bonus versus targets on oily fire. Yeah, no, this is This is way too easy. And we will not ruin our good luck by looking at that cursed chest. Well, we can look. Just don't touch. Oh, we narrowly missed something horrible there. I was hoping we could have landed right next to that, whatever the zapper guys are. I forget. Hopefully here we can buy a better missile. Not enough. A shame. Though luckily doing those rolls doesn't actually cost us any money. It does raise the price of the shop, however. Slowly, they just made this game function so much better. We haven't even been using our skills, funny enough. Haven't had to. Everything just dies right when we look at it. A nice idea, but we have way too much DPS already. Rampart's still better. We're not looking for the damage out of the shield, we're looking for the defensive utility. Get a parry off and we'll be just fine. Explorer's instinct has triggered. Is there anything else more important? We'll head through here and then see if we need to buy ourselves a bit of healing. And that was the food item we could have used. Oh, wait, it landed up there just fine. Would you look at that? We need more fire, as often as possible. Seems the owl's the top predator around here. You don't have to worry about those crows at all. Then it's just a healing station down there. Yeah, we don't need anything. But who should we go for? Undying Shores I don't think gives us enough, horizontal stuff to work with. We also were directed towards the Giant for a next unlock. Clock Tower? Too easy. We want the reward, so let's go to the shores. Which has probably my favorite BGM out of any level in this game. A cute idea, but not enough DPS. Yet again. You know what? I think we can make it to the next forge. No. Not this time, buckaroo. We don't need money, we need scrolls. I forget, do you actually get more scrolls from the bank? I know it's scaled to whatever biome it replaces. Nothing of interest down here. That blasted owl ruined my parry again. And what do we got? Really? How did I roll in one direction there, but not the other? 528, 6809. That is way more HP than I think we'd rather have. Our damage is high enough, honestly. Now we want to make sure we can survive through a mistake. Like that. I don't even remember the mushroom boys in this biome. Was that a... yeah, I feel like he was a malaise. Here we go. Nah, we still want the health. While we can get it. You know what? I will take the 20 HP. 20% HP. For situations like that. Lore room, we don't care. We can we can re-roll the legendary weapons we have. We need to do that in our next biome. If we can get them both to have bonus damage versus burning oil, well, we win, basically. Alright. I think that's what? We're almost to the end of the level already. And there's an amethyst we forgot. I think we might actually be too far ahead. So maybe we won't have to worry about it. Yeah, I'll take that. You can see that at the right angles, we even aim pretty much directly downward with this weapon. Magic Missile usually has kind of low DPS, but you can attack from any safe angles, outside of where your enemies can hit you. And we get around the low DPS with all the bonuses we have stacked on there. We still might want to focus on tactics damage still, because this will raise exponentially. Another lore room, blah-de-dee-blah-de-dee-blah. Oh, wait, there's treasure up here. What do you got for me? I'm sorry, love, but I'm seeing someone else right now. Oh, is everything okay, Decursion? I hope she's okay. Are you okay at the very least? Huh. Funny enough, that's actually barely more DPS than what we have normally. And without any extra damage modifiers, so maybe it's not a bad idea keeping with our starter weapon. I do hope everything's okay, Decursion. We've kind of run ourselves into a very powerful build here. So I'm glad you've shown up when we've had some success. We've been kind of floundering all stream up to this point. But right now, we're kicking some booty. Mm, 16% HP. Already, we basically doubled our health in this biome because we picked the right scrolls. That's that level done with. So now, it's time for ya boy the gardener. No. Almost. But no. We're saving that for the forge because we're doing so well. Extra damage to a target covered in burning oil. Bonus damage to a stunned target. And there we go. All the extra DPS we could ask for. Accessibility update was incredible. I have a lot less visual noise on my screen. One of our viewers actually said there was so much going on that they couldn't see, so we did turn it down to about 30%. Now it's a lot easier to see what's going on. Especially since that was one of my issues with playing this game lately. Alright, time to rock and roll. No perfect here. I can do that too. A lot of your friends got back into the game because of it. I definitely think it's an update they needed. This game just keeps getting better and better as time goes on. Here we go. Last time we got to the final boss, we fought the queen. So, because we're on 5BC, I think we can take the most straightforward path and go back through High Peak Castle. Just because I think we have a very real promise of getting to that 5th spoiler biome. High Peak Castle it is. Crack those knuckles. Hydrate that professor. And summon that owl. Hot take, but I think Dead Cells' music is better than Metal Gear Rising's. I couldn't enjoy this if it had MGR's music. MGR's music is supposed to be for MGR. These are aesthetically two very different games. I see something hidden up here. Really? And that would have been something from up there, it looks like. Wonder why we have the extra, secret passage there. We're close enough that I think we can go with a little bit of extra health. It's definitely gonna get a little rough up here. Oh! Astonishing that we took this long to find them. That was one of the earlier weapons I unlocked on my offline run. You do as you're asked. Thank you, Aaron. That's a lore room. That's not one of the ones we gotta go through. First of the 2 rooms we need to go through, but we will go through all 3. Yeah, I never liked the distillery. Got entirely its own update, and I don't think I had that much fun with it. Spiny, easy to execute as ever. And now we're in a different part of the castle. Well, we almost died there. Never make the wrong approach. Seems those guys are going to be the biggest problem for this build. Normally, I don't have too much of an issue fighting them. Okay, that was unreactably quick. I'll take the higher damage, actually. Funny how those are the easiest fight here. Oh, hello there. Do we do it? All legendary run versus the final boss? We're doing it. Thank you for your assistance, magic missiles. But we're going for the meme. Firewatch reference? What's the Firewatch reference? Oh, probably one of the portraits on the wall. I haven't played Firewatch, so I wouldn't know what it's referring to. We're still looking for the blue door and a few other trinkets. Maybe a little weaker, actually. Potentially. And with the slow, we can definitely keep up the damage. I wonder what prevents them from unfreezing. If it's like a certain damage threshold or what. And the slow's definitely going to help. A little bit more HP. Yeah, none of those are gonna be any better. And here we go. In a second. We don't have any bonus damage versus bleeding, and you are not evolved. If we found you much earlier, this would have been a lot more fun. All right, here we are. Thank you for your time, Aaron. This won't be much longer. I thought about Dead Inside. Let's see, first things first, we will definitely need Armadillo Pack. We'll probably be at a distance enough that we can use Tranquility, but for the sake of safety, I will be picking Disengagement to prevent us from dying at the worst of times. We're probably gonna smite this guy. And here we go. Or not. We already spent our disengagement. We were that close. Okay. In retrospect, maybe the better idea was to stick with the magic missile, since that's what was doing so well so far. But that's at least a very good sign that we got farther there than we have in a while. That's a 4-hour stream. I think it's a good idea to stop. Anywho, no need for any special formalities. Tomorrow we're getting back to Kirby, and hopefully finishing that. If only we actually beat the final boss here, that would technically be 3 games finished in 1 week. But even whenever we beat Dead Cells on 5BC, that does not mean we're stopping playing it. It's an incredible game that continues to deliver, and we still have a lot more equipment to unlock. So, I plan on seeing y'all tomorrow. Thank you everyone for your attendance. Class is dismissed, but I will line y'all up a raid here real quick. Let's see who's doing what. Ah, we haven't said hi to Zen in a bit. Go ahead and give Zen, just call it an Echo raid, since obviously anyone playing Melty Blood right now has to be playing Neko Arc. Love y'all. Good night, and thank you very much for attending.